Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Today I'm going to do the end of the year TBR tag. So I was just watching Perpetual Pages because again, I'm just trying to catch up on booktubers that I've missed for the past several years because I had just joined BookTube. So I was just watching Perpetual Pages. She did this tag and I'm going to go ahead and jump on the tag. And at the very end of it, we'll see if I remember to tag some people. So this seems to be one that people really enjoy, and let's get to it. Question number 1 is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? For that book, it is Ken Follett, Fall of Giants. I have sung Ken Follett's praises over and over and over again, but as you can see, his books are gigantic. I featured this novel in my big book tag, and I can go ahead and link that down below. This book in particular has 985 pages, and I am currently on page 108. So I have quite a ways to go. But this is part of his Century trilogy, and there are 3 books that follow these different families throughout the turn of the century in the year 1900 and take us through all of the 1900s and the different events that happened in the world during that time. So this one, like I said, I am 1/9 of the way through and I have many more pages to go, but it's Ken Follett. He's one of my favorite authors. I will get to finishing it. When will I get to finishing it? Who can say? Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I mentioned in my Finally Fall tag that I live in Texas, so it does finally start to feel like fall here in Texas. So I haven't really been in like an autumn mood. I mean, I'm always in an autumn mood, but I haven't really been in an autumn mood until lately. And there is one book that I have just picked up. I'm super excited about it. It's in my end of the year TBR before I even picked it up. That book is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. The fantasy in here takes place in a forest, and I feel like autumn, forests, some magic and some dragons. I think that'll transition me to the end of the year very nicely, and I'm very excited to have picked this book up, and I'm going to begin it very soon. Question number 3 is there a new release that you are still waiting for? The answer is yes. And I'm going to go ahead and put a picture of it somewhere on the screen, and it is The Disappearance of Winter's Daughter. It is book number 4 in the Year Chronicles by Michael J. Sullivan. I am a huge Michael J. Sullivan fan. I think that if you are a fantasy lover, you need to get hooked on Michael J. Sullivan because he doesn't give you gigantic tomes that we all love, but sometimes they're really hard to get into. He gets into the action right away. And what I love about the Year Chronicles that he's written are each of those can be taken as a standalone book. Yes, there are 4 of them currently, but you don't have to read all 4 of them to understand the story if you were to just pick up the 4th book tomorrow. I'm super excited for that one, The Disappearance of Winter's Daughter. The 2 main characters are 2 thieves for hire, and they get into all sorts of adventures. I participated in a Kickstarter campaign to launch this book, and so it's supposed to come out December. And as soon as that book gets into my hands, all other books on my TBR are just going to get pushed to the side, and I have to read that first because I've been anticipating this release for a very long time. Okay, question number 4 is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? I'm going to say number 1 is The Disappearance of Winter's Daughter. It's going to happen. I don't care what other books I'm in the middle of, it's going to happen. I have to read that before the end of the year. My second book that I have to finish before the end of the year, or that I have to read before the end of the year, is the book that I have been working on for Tome Topple, Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. It is an adult sci-fi novel, and from what I have gathered, this book takes place, our main character, he's an ice harvester in the rings of Saturn. Civilization has expanded throughout the Milky Way galaxy, and not all planets have water, so he's an ice harvester. But that's pretty much all I know about this book so far, and I chose this for Tome Topple, and I'm very excited to keep digging into this. I have been trying to expand my horizons with not only doing 1000% fantasy reads, but I do want more sci-fi reads on my shelf, so this one is one of them that I have to read before the end of the year. And then my next book is Robin Hobb's Ship of Magic. This is the first book in the Live Ship Traders trilogy. For those of you who have been watching a few of my videos so far, I have said and declared that 2018 is going to be my year of Robin Hobb because Assassin's Apprentice got me out of my great reading slump of 2017, and I have since become a fan of the Realm of the Elderlings and Robin Hobb's writing. So I want to give this book a try before the end of the year because I'm a little bit nervous about this particular trilogy and her whole Realm of the Elderlings because I'm not a huge fan of pirates. I don't want to push this book off for too long. I do want to read it before the end of the year, so that way I'm just like ripping off the band-aid, just read a book about pirates, don't keep putting it off, because then I'm going to end up putting off more Robin Hobb books that I don't want to put off. So this one, Ship of Magic, is my third book that I want to read before the end of the year. Question number 5 is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Well, my book that I have next up on my Audible queue is going to be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and it's narrated by Jim Dale. Anything narrated by Jim Dale is a book for me, and I've heard really, really great things, not only because of the magic involved in this, but because even the fact that the circus kind of becomes its own character is really intriguing to me, and of course because I can't wait to listen to Jim Dale read it. Whenever I read a book on Audible or audiobook, I sometimes get a little bit nervous that things might slip through the cracks just because I'm listening to the book while I'm driving. So I hope that Jim Dale is going to keep me glued enough to the story, and I hope that this book will surprise me. Okay, and the last question is, have you started making any reading plans for 2018? And of course the answer is yes. I have a few goals in mind for 2018. One of them is Ink and Paper Blog just announced his Around the World in 1000 Pages book club, and it's 6 books that we're going to read for the first 6 months of the year that take place on a different continent. I'm super excited for that one, and so the first book in that one is The Changeling by Victor Leviathan. That's in my Amazon cart. The second goal and plan that I have for 2018 is I have yet to read a graphic novel. I really wanted to start branching out in terms of kind of the medium that I am consuming books. So for this year, I've branched out into some more audiobooks, and then next year I would like to branch out and take in more graphic novels. So that's another plan for 2018. I think my final plan of 2018 is that I do want to find more fantasy that is less Western influenced than a majority of the fantasy that I do read. So I've got a couple books that I placed an order for. It was a big Black Friday haul, and I hope to film that soon. So I have a couple books that are coming that I think will help me along with that goal of just kind of branching out a lot of the fantasy books that I read and not just kind of my stereotypical Western influence fantasy. There you have it, the end of the year TBR tag. So once again, I'm going to link the tag that I watched from Perpetual Pages as well as the original tag. And then if there's any people out there who wish to participate in the tag, for instance, I'm going to mention Ink and Paper Blog because I'm participating in his book club, so I would like to invite you to do this tag if you haven't already done it. And then I'm going to tag Dane Cobain because in my Finally Fall tag, I was like, I don't know that many booktubers, and he was like, I volunteer as tribute. So Dane, I'm tagging you in this, and then Todd the Librarian, you like to do tags, sort of, and I'm going to tag you to do this end of the year TBR tag. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends, and then you can follow me on social media. It's at WhatCastRead, the same as this channel. It's all one word, super easy to find. So I hope you join me there. We can continue this conversation about books that we love. And of course, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later.